Hey guys, what is going on? It is Chris here on Skin. Anyway, we are looking ahead to the NFL Week 5 main slate. We will be going over that briefly. As normal, there are a lot of games, so we are briefly going to go through a lot of them. Probably, hit on some of them a little harder than the other ones that I have more exposure to and that I like more. So, anyway, that's what we got going on. Recap real quick of the single game for NFL. Sorry, NBA last night was not too bad at all. We did pretty dang good. I played really light last night. I had some family over, so I didn't focus too much into contests and stuff like that because I didn't enter them until late. But in 125,000 people, we came in 11th. So obviously, if you played in a smaller tournament, probably did a little bit better. So yeah, this is how we did. This is our 150 last night. Let's go look at the actual scores. Our best lineup was a 360.95. It could have been a 361, 362 in the big tournaments. I haven't looked, but this was our best one, and overall wasn't too bad. Profited once again. Like I said, I didn't play a ton, but easy profit. So that is another W. I think we're what now 3-1. Yeah, 3-1 now in the NBA Finals in single game with two takedown tournaments, man. And this one here was very, very close as well. And who knows? They could have took down some small ones. So yeah, once again another good night. So there's going to be game six. So if you guys want to get in on the 150 lineups, all you need to do is hit us up on our Twitter. We will let you guys in for the single slate. Make sure that you guys know how to use the Excel, CSV, edit, and stuff like that. Because, like I said, if you don't know how to do it and then you ask me like 10 minutes before log, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, well, like I said, I'd appreciate if you guys knew what you're doing. If you have any questions, don't know how to do it, but you want to get in, I will send you a video on how to edit and stuff like that to Fanduel, and would probably help you guys out quite a bit. But yeah, we'd love to have you for that. That is on Sunday, Game 6. So like I said, if you want to get in on that, check out our Twitter, just message us on there and we'll get you set up on that. And also, we have our regular NFL slates going on where we play the main slate, afternoon slate, and then we play Monday night, all three slates for 1 week. And then we have our separate plan of 150 lineups. If you just want to play that, same thing, we play Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night for that. So we have our separate regular NFL lineups, which is like a full lineup for the main slate, and then we have our 150, which is separate. So, yeah, like I said, to get in on those, just message us as well, and we'd love to have you. So, yeah, so we're briefly going to go through these pretty quickly. Like I said, this is Friday night into Saturday, so there are still a ton of injuries. So definitely keep that in mind when you're making your final lineup. So first game we have is Philly and Pittsburgh. I really don't have a ton of exposure. This one should be a slower game. James Conner is definitely worth a look. He has been pretty good, and I think he'll be pretty sneaky as well. So I do like James Conner, and if you do want to do I guess a Pittsburgh stack, I go Big Ben, James Conner, and you can look at Deontay Johnson. I think he'll go a little bit under owned, but kind of one of the guys I'm looking at. Looks like he is back here, and as you saw, first two games had 10 and 13 targets. So definitely looking at him quite a bit, and that's mostly all I have in this one. Don't really care about Philly. Yeah, that's honestly it. You can look at Pittsburgh defense if you want to. Carolina and Atlanta should be a good one. Julio is questionable if he does not play. Calvin Ridley definitely in play. I know he sucked last time out, but definitely look at him. Russell Gage as well. I'm not even going to say this dude's name, but if Jones is out, this guy got quite a bit of targets from Matt Ryan last time out, so you could maybe look at him at only 4,800. That's pretty dang cheap. Um, Carolina's pass defense hasn't been that bad though, but this could be a higher scoring game, and usually Carolina Atlanta is always very high scoring. So I really don't mind Calvin Ridley, Russell Gage, or the other guy I mentioned. Hayden Hurst could be worth a look as well in GPP. I don't have a ton of Matt Ryan, but you could stack him if you're doing an Atlanta stack. Don't mind a Carolina stack, as we know. Atlanta's defense is absolute trash, and Teddy's not the worst. He doesn't put up a ton of fancy points, but at 7,100, he can usually get you 18 or 20 in this one. He's still passing a ton, so that's definitely helps out the receiving core. Yeah, I really don't mind a Panther stack here. Atlanta, they just absolutely suck, so don't mind them. I love Mike Davis. Probably take him over Todd Gurley for sure. You could have a couple shares of Gurley, but I love Mike Davis. Obviously, everyone's gonna probably have him. DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson will have shares of both of them. I'll probably take Robbie Anderson, a little bit cheaper, and for the most part, not doing bad. I mean, look at this, man. 8, 10, 5, and 11 targets for a dude that's $6,200. I mean, come on, Fanduel. Like I said, they're not a popular team, so these guys' prices are way, way under what they should be. And like I said, Moore, he hasn't been getting as many targets as Robbie, so that's why I would take Robbie instead. But Moore is one of those guys that could go off at any moment. So I love both of those guys here tonight, and that's who I have from that one. Sorry, love for Sunday. Arizona and New York Jets here in this one. We got Flacco starting. Not really too into him. This one could get ugly. Arizona has struggled the last couple games, though. Uh, this guy I think could go off at any moment. Kenyon Drake, I get it. He's just been so bad recently, but if this is the game that he goes off, this is going to be it. Here against the Jets, it could be up by a lot. He could easily get you 105 yards, maybe with a little bit of one or two touchdowns in there. So, like I said, GPP play. Hopefully, one of these days he breaks out, and I don't think a ton of people will have him. Have to check the ownership on that. Hopkins is okay. I don't know how much I want from him, but I still think even if they are blowing him out, I do think Hopkins can hit value, and that's really it from that one. Those two guys is what I'm looking at. Rams, Washington. Don't mind the Rams defense, usually don't, but Kyle Allen starting, that guy sucks. So that's what we got going on there. Don't really know what's going on with the running back here with the Rams, so I don't have too much. Washington's pass defense actually is not too bad recently, so I really don't have anyone from this game. Maybe Tyler Higbee, but probably Rams defense is what I'm looking at there. Vegas, Kansas City should be a good one. You got Patty Mahomes, obviously cash game play in a pretty good spot. Kansas City is a pretty good team against throwing it up in the air, obviously against the wide receivers, so I don't have too much of them. Josh Jacobs could do half decent here, but the only thing I'm worried about is if they're behind, how much are they really going to use Josh Jacobs? But if this is, Kansas City, if they do have one spot to attack him, it's definitely at the running back position. I don't mind Clyde here in this one. Once again, could be up a little bit and give him the ball. Plus gets a couple of receptions out of the backfield. As I mentioned last week, Kansas City, these guys literally throw the ball to everyone, and everyone gets the normal target share. But Tyreek Hill has been pretty consistent, but hasn't had big games yet, and don't mind Kelsey either. So those guys are pretty good. And for a little bit cheaper, you could look at Darren Waller. Las Vegas, once again, they have a lot of injuries to their wide receiver core. Cincinnati and Baltimore, um, don't mind probably going to Lamar Jackson a couple. The only reason is because Cincinnati, as we know, not the greatest against the run, and Jackson loves to run the ball. So I think that's how he could get some of it. I'm not going to have a ton of them, but I think running the ball could be the way to go. If they do get up early, and they could put in some J.K. Dobbins a little bit there in the third and fourth quarter, not use Ingram. But also, Ingram could have a half decent one, as I mentioned. Cincinnati not get against the running back, so he could go off, but this guy doesn't rush anything. So I think probably Jackson's probably your best bet there. Buffalo and Tennessee. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Duh, this game's not playing. Jacksonville and Houston. I don't mind Houston here. I went to them last week and it didn't work. They have a new coach in there. And as we know, Jacksonville's really not that good of a defense. So, I do think Houston can break out here. I said that last week, but I'm going back to the well here. I'd like Deshaun Watson. I don't have a ton of David Johnson. I think you could look at him, though. I liked him last week against Minnesota, and he only got 10, unfortunately. But like I said, if he gets a touchdown in there, then he's going to hit value for you. Don't mind a little bit of James Robertson. Houston is not the greatest against the running back area, so don't mind putting him in there either at 6,600. If you're going Watson, I don't mind going Will Fuller. Definitely one of my top options out there. And don't mind Randall Cobb. Brandon Cooks absolutely killed everybody last week. Um, but yeah, so, like I said, Cobb, He's not going to get a ton of targets, but if he, he's usually gets most of them. If he gets a touchdown, then have at it. Like I said, he's 5,100, so pretty good cheap option. But yeah, like definitely like Will Fuller as well. And that's what we got going on there. Moving on a little bit quicker, Miami and San Francisco. I think big boy Kelsey, Kittle. Got to look at Kittle for sure. I think that's all I have. Um, Get I guess, if Mozart's out. As we know, Fitzpatrick's back. Not Fitzpatrick, Jimmy G's back. So that's what we're looking at. I don't have a lot. Like I said, probably Kittle and maybe Niners defense. Indiana and Cleveland. I don't really like it, but you can definitely look at Kareem Hunt. Like I said, they want to pound the ball quite a bit, but Indiana's a really good defense there. I don't really have anything from this game. So kind of moving on. Denver, that one is postponed as well. The last one, I think a lot of people are going to stack this one, is the Giants and Dallas. So this could honestly go two ways. Dallas absolutely destroys these guys, or their defense is so bad that maybe the Giants get a couple scores and keep it relatively close and hit value. So I don't mind stacking both sides of this. Like I said, I love Prescott, but if they're up by a lot, maybe they slow it down and go to Elliott. And then Daniel Jones, $7,000. Dude has been absolute trash to start the season. Still throwing quite a bit, so that's good against a team like this. But has a little bit of run upside for you as well. So he's been terrible. Like I said, the defenses he's faced there have been pretty good. So maybe he gets you, hits value or goes off a little bit more for you. So I don't mind a little bit of Daniel Jones and GPPs. Love Elliott this week. If they are up, they're gonna probably feed him. That's what he does. So don't mind some Elliott's. Hopefully gets that touchdown in there for you as well. Cooper is going to have Bradbury on him. Bradbury is one of the top guys out there. So Cooper might have a couple issues, but still, this guy's target share is insane. So definitely could look at him. CD Lamb is in play as well if you don't want to go up against Bradbury. Michael Gallup's always your GPP guy. And Darius Slayton in a pretty good spot with Shepard being out. He's probably the main guy there for the Giants, and still gets pretty good targets. So definitely could look at him if you are going the Giants' way. And Evan Ingram and Dalton Schultz both are in play. So that's what we got going on. Let's just go put something in for you guys. Just for that one, I'll just put in Kittle. I do like Kelsey. Mark Andrews, not too bad either. Forgot to mention him. I honestly don't mind a Watson stack. If you don't want to go that way, like I said, you got Carolina as well. But you can go put in Will Fuller in there if you're going that way. Um, Running backs, like I said, Elliott should do pretty good, hopefully, in this one. James Conner, Mike Davis, 6,800, probably put him in there. And a couple other wide receivers. Ridley, Cooper, don't mind a couple of those guys. So yeah, anyway, a little recap. My main stacks I'm looking at. I don't mind Carolina, Atlanta stack. Love both of those guys. What else? We got Giants and Dallas. Obviously, Giants is more of a GPP stack, but definitely look at them. Don't mind Houston stack. Hopefully, they can turn it around here and get their first W of the season. And a couple shares maybe of Mahomes, Clyde, Edwards-Helaire, Lamar maybe. Rams defense, Arizona's defense. Like I said, Drake could be your like GPP wildcard play. He could be boom or bust as normal. So that's what we got going on. As normal, if you guys want our regular lineups for main slate, let us know. Like I said, you get 3 slates for that. And if you want the 150 lineups for single game for NFL, let us know as well. All you need to do is hit us up on our Twitter. And like I said, NBA was pretty good for us last night. We had some pretty good high scoring lineups. And like I said, Sunday could be potentially the last one of the season until January. So if you want to get in on that for the single day, let us know. Like I said, you guys do need to have Slack. That's where we do post the CSV file. So definitely keep that in mind. Like I said, if you don't know how to do that, you're having issues, message me and I'll send you guys a video of how to do it. So, all right, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Do appreciate it. We'll see you guys a little bit later on.